Good morning to everybody in Sports Talk America. It's your boy Jay Franchise, aka ThatDude.com, with the NBS Central team. About to go over my picks for all the games in today's NFL lineup, and I'll give you a fantasy person, a player to watch for in fantasy as well. All right, so we got the lines at the Packers. I'm gonna go with the Packers in this game. I think that the Packers coming off of 2 losses, it's gonna play a lot better. They're gonna play a lot smoother. Aaron Rodgers is gonna be a guy to watch for, but a guy you may want to watch for in fantasy football is your boy Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb and Devontae Adams could have some big games. All right, but I got the Packers winning this 38-24. Next game, Cowboys at the Bucks. Cowboys defense has been playing pretty decent as of late. They've just been on the field for a long period of time. But I've got to go with the Bucks in this game. Jameis Winston and that offense is looking very, very solid. I just don't think that Matt Castle is the answer, and he's like a Band-Aid to a third-degree wound. A player to watch for in this matchup is Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans and possibly the Hammer, Doug Martin, will have some big, big games. But I've got the Bucks winning this game by the count of 24-10. Panthers at Titans. Big game for Cam Newton and the undefeated Panthers. I think they'll prevail with no problems against Marcus Mariota. The Panthers defense is going to be very, very interesting. If you have the Panthers defense in any lineup, definitely take the Panthers defense. Next game we got up. We got the Rams going at home against the Chicago Bears. This is an interesting matchup. Jay Cutler hasn't looked bad as of late, and Jeremy Langford has looked pretty good in that backfield since Matt Forte has went down. But I got to go with the Rams at home. I like Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley's going to bounce back. He's going to have a big game this week. I also think that Nick Foles could have a very big game. That's a guy to watch for in fantasy. Nick Foles, definitely watch for him. I think he bounces back after a couple subpar weeks. Next game we got the Saints coming up to D.C. to take on the Washington Redskins. Very interesting matchup. Redskins having a very good year on the defensive side. Their offense is kind of sketchy, but their defense is really, really stepping it up. But I've got to go with I got to go with my home team, the Saints. I think that Drew Brees is going to have a big game. A guy to watch for in fantasy is going to be Willie Snead. Willie Snead will get open a lot. I don't think that the corners of the Washington Redskins can check Willie Snead, Ben Watson, and Marcus Colston. So I'm gonna go with the Saints winning this game by the count of 21-10. Next game we got the Dolphins going up to Philly to take on the Eagles. Very interesting matchup again. Ndamukong Suh can have a very, very big game should Philly sleep on him and not decide to block. But I'm going to go with Philly. I like Philly's offense. I like what they're doing. I like their defense. I'm definitely liking the fact that they can move the ball a little bit better, and DeMarco Murray is an intricate part of that offense. So I'm going to go with Philly winning this game by the count of 31-24. We got the Cleveland Browns going to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Very, 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 very interesting matchup. Big Ben, as of right now, is doubtful, but from sources, they're preparing for Landry Jones to play. I don't think this is a good matchup against the Cleveland Browns. I think Johnny Manziel is going to have a big game. I also believe that the Pittsburgh defense is somewhat subpar. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. Let me phrase that. I'm going to go with Cleveland. I think Cleveland's going to come in and take a big victory away from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've got Cleveland winning this game in a nail biter, 28-27. Next game we got up, Jaguars at Ravens. Another very good matchup. The Jaguars have been surprising a lot of people because their offenses look really, really good with Blake Bortles, and Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns. But the guy to watch for this week is T.J. Yeldon. The Baltimore Ravens have been very susceptible to the run. I think that T.J. Yeldon is going to have a big game. He's a very top-notch runner. He normally gets about 15 to 25 carries per game, averages anywhere between 80 to 100 yards per game. I think T.J. Yeldon has a huge game against that Ravens porous run defense. So I'm going to go with the Jaguars winning this game by the count of 27-21. Next game we got the Vikings going to the West Coast to play the Oakland Raiders. Another interesting matchup. Teddy Bridgewater is cleared to play and will start. The Vikings defense isn't no slouch as of this year. Mike Zimmer does have them playing at an elite level. However, they just have not played a team like Oakland. Oakland is the surprise team of the NFL this year. I like what they're doing up there. Jack Del Rio has a very good defensive plan, as well as a solid offensive core that could be very great for years to come. And I'm going to personally say I think Oakland's going to be one of the hottest teams to beat in the next coming years. I'm going to go with Oakland winning this game by the count of 38-24. Next game we got up. And then that Oakland game, if you got Michael Crabtree, definitely pick him up. Big game from him. I could definitely see a big game from him, as well as Stephon Diggs. Next game we got up, Patriots going up to New Jersey to play the Giants. Very, very interesting game. The Giants have owned the Patriots the last couple of years in a lot of close matchups, but Tom Brady's on a roll right now. I don't really see the Giants' defense, as porous as that pass defense is. I don't see them slowing Tom Brady and the Pats down. I'm going to go with Tom Brady and the Pats. Brandon LaFell's a guy to watch for in fantasy. I'm going with the Pats winning this game by the count of 42-17. Next game we got Chiefs at the Broncos. I'm just not sold on the Chiefs defense. I'm just so not sold on the Chiefs defense. I mean, but I think it's mainly because the Chiefs offense is a 3-and-out, which leads the defense to being on the field at least 75% of the time, which is a bad recipe for disaster for any team. I am going to go with the Broncos. I think Peyton Manning bounces back, has a huge week. A guy to watch for, Vernon Davis and Owen Daniels. I think both guys will have some big weeks in fantasy. I'm going to go with the Broncos winning this game by the count of 34-13. Next game we got the Sunday night game. We got Arizona going to the 13th man or the 12th man and playing the Seattle Seahawks. This is going to be a battle. This is going to be one of those dog fights, because this is not only to decide, who reigns supreme in the division, but this is like a huge rivalry game. I'm loving the Arizona offense and how they're moving the ball at will. I definitely love what Carson Palmer has been doing lately. He's very mistake free. Chris Johnson is getting back to the old Chris Johnson when he was running for 1,000 to 2,000 yards per season. On the Seattle end, they still haven't found an answer for their issues at the offensive line position. I just don't think that this is going to bode well for this team. So I gotta go with Arizona winning this game. I think I think Larry Fitzgerald will have an amazing game. They're gonna target Peterson a lot. They're gonna target not Peterson. They're gonna target they're gonna target the Seattle secondary a lot, and I just don't. And if you have Jimmy Graham in your fantasy, do not start him this week. I just believe that again, Arizona's going to have a big game on the offensive side, but this is going to be very close, and I'm going to go with Arizona winning this game by the count of 21-20. And in the Monday night game, we got the Texans going up to Cincinnati to play the undefeated Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to go with Cincinnati, bottom line. J.J. Watt, I mean, if you had 11 guys that play with the intensity that you have, I mean, it would be a different story, but it's not. I'm sorry. Um, I've got to go with the squad that just looks 8 times better. Um, the Bengals are going to play very, very solid football. Again, if you got Tyler Eifert, Andy Dalton, if you got Jeremy Hill, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. If you got Mohamed Sanu in your fantasy, he's going to put numbers. Um, but the Eifert Dalton connection will be huge this week. So, I'm sorry, Dalton to Eifert connection will be huge. So, I've got Cincinnati winning this game by the count of 38-14. And that's all the predictions I have for you for this week's NFL slate of NFL games. Um, Definitely check out the Nothing But Sports Show YouTube channel. Also check us out on iTunes and the Apple Store. Check us out. Check out our podcast. Not only the Nothing But Sports Show, but also the college football show called Rush the Field. Um, you know, Support us. Give us a shout out. Share your thoughts. We definitely love to hear your thoughts. And one last thing, Truex the Sports Junkie will be giving out all his fantasy predictions out later today. Definitely check him out. Send your request, and he'll definitely answer all your questions. Salute to everybody. Enjoy the games this Sunday. Peace.